Hello everyone, so in this video I'm just continuing with the naming of compounds that have alkyl groups, and we're going to just get straight into it. We're going to do 7 more examples before we move on to the next topic. My advice, you pause the video before I actually explain it and then try to work it out. Then you come back, revisit to see if you get it correctly. Alright, so for this one, the first thing that we do once again is that we identify the longest continuous carbon chain. Right, and if I go straight across, I am seeing 6 carbons. Right, if I were to go this way, I still see 6 carbons. So either way we take it, we're going to do 6. We're going to see 6 carbons in the longest continuous carbon chain. And I'm just going to keep this one because it looks a lot simpler compared to the previous. The next thing that we need to do, we're at step 2, identify the suffix based on the longest continuous carbon chain. And looking at it, we're only seeing C single bond C. So that's going to be an alkane. So the ending of the name is going to be ANE. For the prefix, we name that based on the amount of carbons in the longest continuous carbon chain. We're seeing 6 carbons, so it's going to be hex. Hex is the prefix for 6. We don't have a substituent, but we do have different alkyl groups. I'm seeing one alkyl group here and one alkyl group here. All right, but these alkyl groups get their own name. In this case, this alkyl group has 1 carbon, so it's meth. And since it's an alkyl group, it gets "-yl" at the end. For this one, it has 2 carbons. This alkyl group has 2 carbons, so it's going to be F. And since it's an alkyl group, it gets "-yl" at the end, so it's ethyl. And remember that when you're naming your substituents or your alkyl groups, you have to name them in alphabetical order. So it's going to be ethyl, and you're going to have methyl right here. And this is only for substituents, right? And we need to identify the position of both of these. Now if I go this way, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, I'm seeing 3 and 4. I'm seeing 3 and 4 there. Yes, let us get back into that. Nice. So I'm seeing 3 and 4 there. If I go this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I'm still seeing 3 and 4. However, note that since we're doing it in alphabetical order, and this only applies for our alkyl groups, right? Since E come before M, we're going to try to give the E the lowest possible number. So it's going to be 3 dash ethyl, and the methyl is on carbon number 4. So it's going to be dash 4 methyl hexane. I'll just write out the full name for this one. So it's 3 ethyl. And I love calling these because looking at it, you'd think, oh, it's very complicated. But once you look at the structure and you understand what's going on here, then it's not that complicated. All right, so this is our name. All right, remember your dashes. The next one, remember, first thing we do, we identify the longest continuous carbon chain. That's going to be it. We have 5 carbons there. If I were to go this way, it would still be 5 carbons. This way, 5 carbons. So I'm just going to do this one since it seems a lot more simple. All right, and for the suffix, we're only seeing C single bond C. So it's ANE. Prefix based on the longest continuous carbon chain. That chain has 5 carbons. 5 is pent. All right. Then we do our substituent or alkyl group. We don't only have one substituent, we have 2. So I'm seeing 1 here and 1 here. Right? And this substituent is a methyl. The alkyl group that is present is a methyl group. This one is also a methyl. Right? So I'm going to put both names. I'm just going to put one name actually. Oops. So it's methyl, it's going to be methyl right here. And since it's 2 methyl, it's 2 of the same. It's going to be dimethyl. And we need to tell the position of both of these. Right? So this one, I'm going to try to give it the lowest possible number. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The lowest possible number is 2 for both. So it's going to be 2 for the first one, 2 for this one, and 2 for this one as well. So 2, 2, dimethyl pentane. Let me just write it here. Dimethyl pentane. 15. Let's do this one. Right, we identify the longest continuous carbon chain. So we could either choose to go this way with 3 carbons, or this way with 3, or this way with 3. And I'm going to stick to that one. Alright, the suffix based on our functional group, we're only seeing C single bond C, so it's N. Prefix based on the longest continuous carbon chain, we see 1, 2, 3 carbons. Method prop, not pro but prop. Right, and for our substituent, we only see one group that's not a part of our long chain, and we see this group right here. That's methyl, that's meth, and methyl, because it's an alkyl group, it's going to be methyl, and the position, it's on carbon number 2, either way we take it. So this is going to be 2 methyl propane. Next one, I believe we're at number 5 now. Once again, we identify the longest continuous carbon chain. If I go this way, I see 5 carbons. If I go this way, I see 6 carbons. So I'm going to stick to that way. Next, we do our suffix on our longest continuous carbon chain. We're only seeing C single bond C, so that's going to be ANE. And for the prefix, based on the number of carbons in the longest chain, we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is hex. Substituent, we do have an alkyl group. Actually, the alkyl group is here, CH3, because it's not it's not in the main skeleton, right? It's actually a branch. So this, we're gonna give it its own name. Since it's an alkyl group, it's CH3, that's an alkyl group. It has 1 less hydrogen than the corresponding alkane, so it's an alkyl group, right? So it's going to be meth, and since it's an alkyl, it's going to be methyl. So I'm going to put the methyl here, and this methyl group is on carbon number 3. That's the lowest possible number. If we were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 would be too much. Right, so it's on carbon number 3. So the name is 3-methyl hexane. Okay. Now this one says name the following, and we're given the condensed form, and we're asked to name these compounds. And I'm going to show you how to do your drawing and your naming based on the given condensed formula. And just a recap, your condensed formula, it gives you information about the atoms that are bonded together without actually showing you the bonds, right? You can look back on the definition for that, but the condensed formula does in fact give you a lot of information, but you don't see the dashes, you don't see the bonds, but you know that, hey, this carbon is bonded to this hydrogen is bonded to this oxygen, and so on. Right, let us look at how we draw this one and how we're going to name it. So the first thing we see here, we see CH3, and so we're going to draw our CH3 first. It's like writing. So we have CH3, right, and now we're at CH. But because we have the bracket, this bracket is telling us that we have a branch, right, and the branch is CH3. Yes, now we're at CH2, and notice how I'm doing it. It's like a bone. I have the carbon in the middle and the hydrogens on the edge of the bone, right? And then we have CH3. And now let us name. And when we're naming, we identify the longest continuous carbon chain. I'm gonna go this way, 4 carbons. If I were to go this way, it would still be 4 carbons, right? So that's 4 carbons right there. And next we do our suffix being the functional group. We have only C single bond C, so that's going to be ANE. Note that there's no guide here, so I'm hoping that we can do it without the guide this time. Next, the prefix, which is the amount of carbons in the longest continuous carbon chain. We have 4 carbons, meth, eth, prop, bute. That's bute right there. Then we have our alkyl group here. Our alkyl group only has one carbon, so that's going to be methyl. And the position 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe 2 is going to be the lowest possible number, so it's going to be 2 methyl butane. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to practice writing without actually showing the pluses to see if we're getting there, right? Now this is number 2. We have CH3, so we're going to start from this end. We have CH3. Let me try to get this bold. So we have CH3, right? Then we have C. Now this C has 2 methyl groups attached to it. So I'm going to do CH3 here, CH3 here. Then we're here, we have CH3. We can just simply do it like this as well. Yeah. And let us try to name this one. There's actually another way we could draw this, you know. We could do it CH3, C, CH3, CH3, CH3. And I know they look like alkyl groups, but they're really not. You have to remember, identify your longest continuous carbon chain. So we have, I'm going to look at this one here. If I go this way, I see 3 carbons. If I go this way, I see 3 carbons. If I go this way, 3, 3, 3, right? We're seeing 3 no matter which way we go. So it's going to be 3 carbons in the longest continuous carbon chain. The suffix, since it's C single bond C, it's going to be ANE. Prefix, 3 carbons, so that is 3,4-methylprop. Then we do our alkyl group. We have 2 of these and they're the same. This is a methyl group, this is a methyl group. So I'm just simply going to write methyl. And since it's 2 of the same, it's going to be dimethyl. The position of both, they're both on carbon number 2, no matter the way we take it. So it's 2, 2 dash dimethyl propane. Next question, I have 3 more to go. Alright, so next we're at this one here. Once again, let us draw from the left edge. We have 3 carbons. Let me just try to, we have, 3 hydrogens. Then we have here, then we have 2 hydrogens on the main skeleton. Then we have 1 hydrogen here. Then we notice that we have an alkyl group. Oh, I noticed something a while ago. Interesting. Then we have an alkyl group right there in the bracket. Remember, bracket means branch, right? So I'm just going to do it right here. So it's CH2, CH3. Then we're on our main carbon skeleton. We have CH2. And then we have CH3. Okay, next we need to identify the longest chain. If I go this way, I see 5 carbons. If I go this way, I see 5 carbons. Either way we take it, it's still 5, right? Then we do our suffix. Suffix is the functional group. We're only seeing C single bond C. And by now, this should be like a habit for you. We're only seeing C single bond C. And prefix, amount of carbons. So that's 5 carbons in the longest chain. That's going to be pent. So we're at pentane. Then we identify our alkyl group. Our alkyl group has 2 carbons. So that's going to be F for ethyl for the alkyl group. And the position, it's on carbon number 3, no matter the way we take it. So it's 3-ethyl pentane. Next one. So we have CH3. CH3. Then we have CH. Then this is branch, right? So it's going to be a CH3 right here. Then we have another CH. Then we have another branch. Then we have a CH3. CH2CH3. Let me actually just draw it out. CH2CH3. Alright. Next, identify the longest continuous carbon chain. If I go this way, let me use my red. If I go this way, I see 5. If I go this way, I see 5. Right? And 5 is the longest. Then we do our suffix, which is the homologous series functional group. We're only seeing C single bond C, so that's an alkane. The ending of the name is going to be ANE. It's 5 carbons in the carbon chain, so the prefix is going to be pent. We are seeing 2 branches, and these are 2 of the same, so it's methyl. And since it's the 2 of the same, it's going to be dimethyl. We need to identify the number that they're on. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 and 3 is lower than 3 and 4, so I'm just going to do 2, 3 dash dimethyl pentane. And now we're at the last one. Right, for the last one, we have CH, that's 3 H's. Then we have our CH2. Then we have a C. Then we have 2 alkyl groups. So it's CH3, so it's 2 separate alkyl groups, right? And these are both methyl, so it's CH3 here, CH3 there. Then we have a CH2 and a CH3. First thing we do, identify the longest continuous carbon chain. It's 5, right? Then we do our suffix, which is the homologous series. Right, we're seeing alkane because it's C single bond C, so it's going to be ANE. It is 5 carbons in the longest chain, so it's going to be pent for the prefix. Pent again. We're seeing 2 alkyl groups, 2 of the same, so it's going to be methyl. And since it's 2 of the same, it's going to be dimethyl. And we need to identify the position of both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Both are on carbon number 3, so that would be our name. 3,3-dimethyl pentane. And just a brief recap. Just remember that your alkyl groups, right, they are branches. Your alkyl groups are branches on your main carbon chain, right? And your alkyl groups are formed from the corresponding alkane. So if you have an alkane that has 1 carbon, it's CH4, it has 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens. You know that 1 carbon is meth, right? And since it's C single bond C, it's methane. However, the corresponding alkyl group won't have ane, right? And the corresponding alkyl group has 1 less hydrogen. And let me just show you that it's attached to an R group. Right, so it has 1 less hydrogen, right? So I'm gonna put 3 here, and therefore that would be methyl. So instead of being methane, it's gonna be methyl. If it was CH3CH2, this has 1 less hydrogen than the ethane, so it's simply gonna be ethyl. Right? I hope you learned something about our alkyl groups. And I will see you in the next video where we're going to be naming alkenes.